good evening to our wonderful viewers, those who are seated at home following Star TV on satellite. Likewise, those who are presently linking or following the Facebook, following Star TV program. You are welcome back here for the first time Monday Night Sports in our new complex here at the new OIC Road, former Battle Harden Highway. As we all know, it was a long break. We were relocating and some materials need to be properly installed before we come on air. We are here back again to give you your favorite Monday Night Sports here on Star TV. Today, those joining me is on my right. You have normally my son, who is Ibrahim Akampo Jata, who is on my right today. And on the left, you have my boss, who is nobody other than Omar Job. So, Ibrahim Akampo Jata, welcome to the program once again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to our wonderful viewers. We were on another exciting Monday Night Football. Like you mentioned it, this is the first time we are doing it here in our new building because it's a long time we don't do, I would say almost 7 to 8 months we don't have Monday night. Do what you mentioned here in your headline that we are transferring, so that's why we have to stop it. But now we are back. Let them stay tuned and ending the show because it's going to be another interesting Monday night show.
Boss, my able boss, once again back to the platform. Who always I enjoy being with in the same platform because, to be honest, when it also comes to knowledge, to sports, your knowledge is like an ozone; it has no limitation.
Well, I will just take that as a compliment, but nevertheless, I will say good evening to our wonderful viewers who always follow this program called Monday Night Sport. It's been like a while since we last sit here and, of course, talk about what we love talking about, that is sports. If this thing has to be something that has been scripted, mind you, I have already forgotten some verses because it's been like a while since we last sat here and talk about sport. But we're happy that we're back and, of course, start doing what we love doing, that is talking about what we all love talking about, that is sport. Thank you very much for having me.
That is my boss, Omar Job, and on the headlines tonight, we will be having Serekunda, as we know, a new executive are elected, and Nawetan is fast approaching. Qualifier rounds are to start, a date is set, and we will also give you the number of teams that are vetted and qualify to play this year's qualifiers for Serekunda West. And it will be followed, as we know, over the weekend. The Sport Journalists Association of the Gambia also commemorated World Sports Journalists Day, which is celebrated on the 6th of July each year. And during the celebration, a memorandum of understanding was signed. As the program unfolds, you will have more details on it. We will also be giving you the champions of the domestic league, Real de Banjul, Gambia Ports Authority, who gained promotion, and that of Berewuleng also, who won the female league. In conclusion, we'll be also giving you the North Star Academy Summer Camp, which is ongoing presently at Kirjata, Nyomi. Just join us after this short break. We will come back and go straight to the program. After that short break, just to go straight to the point, we know Nawetan, boss, is fast approaching. And boss, the razzmatazz and the ambience is a word that I borrowed from you, the razzmatazz and the ambience that is in Nawetan, which is the local football jamboree. This is a moment that Gambian community take ownership of their teams. It is a moment that people enjoy real football ambience and razzmatazz, whereby if a community is playing, it is only the old pa and the old dads and the old moms whom you know that they are sick or they cannot go. Others will sacrifice to be at home to make sure that they take care of the kids. But we know the Nawetan cannot be played without qualifier rounds, in a sense that every year some teams will relegate to the proper Nawetan. And to replace those relegated teams, you need at least 4 teams to replace those ones, boss. And we can see when it comes to this year, boss, is something heavy because we see to it that Serekunda West have to go and have almost 50 teams, boss. 50 teams that you can see before your screen. Boss, what is your take among these 50 teams? And all these 50 teams have one vision. What is the vision? To qualify. Where? To the proper Nawetan. Among these 50, boss, it is only 4 that will qualify. What's your take?
Well, how I wish Nawetan was like our league. Yeah. Let me just take this example whereby I was talking to one of the agents, and then during Nawetan, and then I was like, I'm going to watch a football match at the local parks, and then he was like, oh, your leagues, I thought your leagues are finished. Then I have to convince him that it's called Nawetan, is locally football that normally happen off season. And then he was like, oh, because he once watched our league here with me when he was on his scouting mission here in the Gambia. So when I went to the Nawetan, then the, like you said, the rathmatas and then the ambience, exactly. And then he was like, oh, is this not your league? Why is that more powerful than your league? I was like, I wish this was like our leagues. But nevertheless, like you mentioned, the qualifiers before Nawetan, so, you know, each and every, this is called community football. Each and every community will want your team to participate in it. And then, of course, this is a community football. Each and everyone, there is no stone is left behind. Everybody is part of the community, and then they will always their teams qualify. There are veteran qualified teams that are yearning to make it through, which I will start with my own team. It's funny, some will say over 20-something years we are trying our luck, we couldn't make it through. But good luck to them for this coming qualifiers. It's something like that each and every ward will want their team to participate, and of course their ward or community have a representative in it. It's never an easy task because you have 50 teams and then only 4 spots. Those 50 teams, they have to play with the relegated 4 teams, and of course sometimes it's unfortunate when you where you have all the 50 qualifier round teams will be knocked out because those that are relegated and of course waiting on the playlist, when they meet with this qualifier round, they bounce back to go back to the league, and then those are the unfortunate moment of the qualifiers. But let's just see what happened this year. Let's just assume it's 54 teams vying for a 4th spot to be in the Nawetan proper, and we all know eyeballs are high and hopes are high about pertaining to this coming Serekunda West qualifiers, because we have seen preparation are in high gear. Like you mentioned earlier, there is new executive that are to run the affairs of the Serekunda West. We all know when you talk about Serekunda West during those days, is a zone that normally captured the ambience and of course the attention of football enthusiasts. But recently, it's kind of dull. I don't say it's dull, it's kind of dull. Sometimes you wonder it is even worth going to watch football. All those zones are doing magnificent. But let's just assume or we expect that this year will be a different case, and of course football comes to alive at Serekunda West, because of we all know Serekunda West. There are moments during your time when you were playing at the league, there are certain games. If you play it, you don't play the Nawetan, and then some will fake injuries just to make sure, and then they play the Nawetan. So that tells you how interesting Nawetans can be at these zones. But let's just hope the qualifiers are played in peace, and of course we reach at the climax of whereby only 4 teams will go in the Nawetan proper.
Only 4 teams will qualify in the Nawetan proper. So the qualifiers, it's really a big mountain to climb. The fittest ones will cross the obstacle, but the weak ones will always be left behind. Boss, before going to Campo, last year I saw your brother, whom I played with at Serekunda West, who was my strike partner at Serekunda West. We scored beautiful goals together as teammates. We saw him come and do his job at Serekunda West by qualifying a team to the Nawetan proper and relax. Where is he this season? On hope, is he preparing for any team as you are also preparing for a team? I know if he is preparing, I would be very happy if 2 of you lock horns.
Well, last year we congratulated him for at least championing Fulham to their maiden Nawetan proper, but it was rather unfortunate that the team has to struggle in their first season. They couldn't maintain it, and of course the team gets relegated. Now they will be playing in the playoffs. So he is with them, and of course vying for that for sports to at least go back to the Northern proper. And like you said, I just hope we did not clash in our club, because if I happen to have my teams, and of course I met him at the Gale, come on, I will trust him out and then I'll at least proceed, because he has at least tested there, and then I don't know what happened, he came back. So I hope he goes back, but that is if he did not face any of my teams.
Anyway, as he said, you know, he don't wish Overmars, who was my strike partner and my teammate, not to face him, because he know his capability. He really don't talk, but when it comes to stuff in the game, he knows it very well. He is indeed not a whistleblower. Ibrahima Kampojara, Serekunda West, as the slogan goes, it's always the best side.
Yeah.
West side is the best side, and we see to it that qualifier rounds have increased. Why they increase is because we see them last year, they increased from 36 to 40 teams.
40 teams, yeah.
And the 40 teams also remain this year. So the 4 teams that were relegated, so among these 50 that they put here, plus that 4 that are waiting, it is only 4 that will qualify to the proper Nawetan to make it 40 teams. What is your take on the qualifier rounds?
Yeah, qualifiers are very, 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 very difficult. Like you mentioned it here, every team and every player, your ambition is to qualify to the proper Nawetan. So the saddest thing is a knockout game. So everybody want to qualify. Yeah, but also the best team may not qualify sometimes, because we all know that football is a luck too. But you know, having 50 teams, you have to play 4 games, then the 5th game, then you have to play. You have to go to the playoff and play and qualify. Yeah, but this year 50 is good compared to other zones bringing 60 teams, 65 teams, 70 teams. It's not help, but why they play qualifier round first? Because this is the area they get money to generate themselves, to prepare for themselves for the Nawetan. So it's going to be very difficult for some teams to maintain, but sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes you will see all these 50 teams will not qualify. Only the teams that are relegated, they will have in the playoff against them out. Sometimes I will say it's not fair. But this is football. Yeah, but may the best teams qualify. But I know it's going to be difficult, definitely, because Nawetan is in people's heart. It's a community based thing, and people own it as their own. Like Omar mentioned, you will see a league player in the league, because the GFF say when you play 6 games in the 4th division, you are not going to play Nawetan. When you play 10 games in the 2nd division, you are not going to play. You will see players trying to fake injuries, playing only 7 games or 8 games in the 2nd division. They say, I have injured or I have groin, so that they can play Nawetan. They didn't appear to 1st division. If they will play even 4 or 5 games, they say now they are not going to play. They have hamstring because of the Nawetan, because of the ambience.
Exactly.
Because it's a community-based thing.
So that will take unnecessary cards in some games.
Unnecessary cards. So we use the teams that are going
but
to
we see this
Yeah.
season, the Serekunda West New Committee, as you can see, that is the fixtures before you there. You can see that on the fixtures, when I engage them, they are playing it in 2 clusters at this moment. But after exams at Latirkunda, they will play it in 3 clusters. So what they said here is like the teams from Joswang and Talinding, they will all battle and play their qualifiers at Talinding. Likewise, the team around Koto also will play it in Koto. So the teams at Latirkunda will also play it in Latirkunda to make easy movements for teams so that the games can take place. Somehow they decentralize it, which we see it is a good move so far. But they, according to them, they said possibly the last games of the qualifiers will be played in the main pitch of Serekunda West. As we know, presently there is a renovation ongoing in that pitch, but that is still not stopping the committee from playing the qualifiers. What is your take on these ideas?
Well, I will just say this is a revitalization of what has been happening in the early 2000s. I could recall during those times, teams will play qualifiers at the famous Parky, that is this park in Joswang, Parafield, and then the Kotus, and then the likes. So the last games, that is the playoffs, will be normally played at the Serekunda West Park. It has been happening, but as time proceeded, everything changed. All qualifier games are played at the main park. And you know, I guess this gives teams the gist to test the football pitch at the Serekunda West Park, because you know many teams will tell you it's not easy paying $10,000 in, then go ahead and play in the sunny pitch, just 1 game, 2 games, you are out.
Sure.
But at least playing a game in the Serekunda West Park give you a relief that, oh, at least I have played in the park. But nevertheless, like you said, renovation are going. The most important part of these Jamboree is the proper nawetan. So the proper nawetan have to meet the park at its best condition. So if at all the excuse is like they wanted to at least have a proper park before the nawetan proper, then I think it's an ideal thing that teams played in different clusters. But sometimes these parks can be so disappointing, especially in the rainy season. When it rained, I could recall last season that even cost us our team, whereby we were playing and then it rained, all the pitch, sandy pitch at the end, they all became moody. It is not good for the players because of we even lost one of our players through injury, whose arm was dislocated due to sleepy pitch and around. I will just advise them, wherever there is a game going on and then it rains, let them try to abandon that particular game till sometimes playing in these parks can be disadvantageous because when it's rain, a sandy pitch, when it's rain, it becomes moody, so it doesn't help players. And then here we are trying to develop grassroots football, so protecting these footballers that are features of our grassroots level, and then they are eyeing for a big sport. So if you cannot protect them at a teen age, and then at the end of the day we will not have a proper channels of our young lads. So it's a good initiative that they are trying to maintain the football pitch to be in a good state prior to the Nawetan proper, but let them also consider the well-being of these players, these young players who are, because of most of these players that are playing the qualifiers, they are also Nawetan players, and of course they are eyeing for a sport to be in a league players. So these are the advantage and the disadvantage.
My boss said it all. There are advantages and disadvantages, but nonetheless, it's good that you people are bringing memory, and the committee members, if you are listening or watching this program, my boss advise you, and I concur with his advice, because he who feels it knows it. Even my playing days, when I feel it's moody or slippery, I don't take the risk of playing because my career is what matters. Certain injuries are life-threatening injuries, and you have them, your Nawetan team or anybody within the surrounding cannot treat you. So let the committee take those measures to make sure. Let them scrutinize the pitches. Let them observe the pitches. If it rains to a certain level, I know they don't like stopping games, but they have to do such for the benefit of the players and the public. Campo, we see to it that according to Serekunda West New Committee, the release date for the qualifiers is on the 15th of July, but with an open bracket. The open bracket is, as they said, the date set for the qualifiers to start is on the 15th July. Depending on KM Regional Football Referees Association finish all their third division tasks and be available, because the qualifier rounds will be officiated by the KM Regional Referee Association members. But they said if nothing is happening or everything is done, they are to start on the 15th. And we see to read that each game from Tuesday to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, each day will host 4 games. 4 games in 2 different venues. That is 2 games of 2:30 and 2 games of 4 o'clock. They are rostered, like I said, each games maybe 8 teams will play. 8 teams will play, right? So what is your take on this qualifiers and the proposed date and 4 games in 1 day?
Yeah, it's very good because they have to fast track it, because now Nawetan, I would say that the GFF say that they have a calendar, but they never fulfill that calendar, because of now Nawetan is starting. Maybe Nawetan is going to start in August. Then we're gonna have a zonal there. The league is just fast approaching also. So playing it at July 15 is good. Depend on whether the regional the final will be played before on the 15th, because right now they're supposed to set a final between who is going to be the champions of game to go to the triangular, and you need KMC referees to officiate your games too. That's good. They have to fast track it, because if not, there's no time, and we are in the rainy season. Some game may stop, like Omar mentioned here, because we are in the rainy season. So the date is good, but the 4 game not bad. Also, the venue that they are going to play is also good because now they are finishing the field because of, when they play the qualifier round in the main field, before the qualifier round finish, the field will be dead.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even understand whether they were representing the field. So, which is also good to play it outside so that they can have a very good pitch. Yeah, which I also applaud the new committee.
Boss, we see to it that the previous executive of Serekunda West, when it comes to communicating or engaging the media, they were completely left behind. They don't communicate with the media, neither to the public, because most of the things, if you want to just set light for the benefit of the public, they tend to sideline you or try to take things personal. But we see this new committee, when they come after being engaging, we've seen that they have been making some of the courtesy calls and they are updating the public. As they said, that is going to be the first thing that they will work on to make so this committee are open for communication whenever they are consulted. So when I heard of the rumor that the field is not going to host any qualifier rounds game, but it will host KM regional final, when I engaged the public relation officer, what he said to me was that presently the pitch is on renovation, but he said having too much of qualifier round games with the pitch, as Campo mentioned, can at least ruin their efforts. But he said when they were asked by KM to host the final, what they did was to consult the contractor who is presently renovating the pitch to ask him if the field can currently host a game. But what he told them, according to the PRO, was that for the KM final, yes, it can be played to the pitch at Serekunda West. But he said, why? For it to be a test of the pitch. And that is what they said. But according to they said, if that test is passed, the last games of the qualifiers will be played at Serekunda West. How did you see that information and coming out to the public as they promised that they will work on that?
I guess whoever don't understand journalists as a key stakeholders in sports,
sure,
they might end up failing or they don't understand what they are doing. Because journalists, I will take an example. We had a coach who visited here in the country, and then we were having a training, and then when he came and then didn't see any media, and then he asked the organizers, well, I have been training for the past 3-4 days and I did not have any media engagement. Then the organizers were all silent, and then he told them the importance of media in modern sport, because of because even in FIFA they consider sports. Sure. Because if you see during COVID's time, FIFA consider journalists, they know they are the role they played when it's come to at least disseminating information. A sport without sport journalists, well, it's nothing. So it's good to at least, because sometimes your voice cannot be heard by everyone. Sure. So you have to relay the message, and then so that those that have the platform, they can re-echo that voice so that it can reach to where it is. So if the PRO is taking it to himself that when you had the rumor, you engage him, then I think that's a good start for them, because whatever it is that they are having in heart, if it is not communicated, there is no accountability. So at this earlier stage, they have said their reason. Like you said, Nawetans, we all know how things are. Many don't watch qualifiers. But when there is Nawetans, sometimes even you do not know any team that is pertaining, playing in that particular day, you just go there and then watch games. So if the Nawetan properties meet a field whereby it is not playable, at the end of the day, it disrupts that particular Nawetan. So communicating was the right thing that they do, and then let's just hope that the test they wanted to see, that is the KM regional final played there. Let's just hope things go in a right direction at the end of the day, so that the playoffs can be played at the Serekunda West Mini Stadium.
As my boss says, let us just hope the test goes well and the exam to be passed of hosting games, so that the qualifiers can accommodate that place. Because as my boss mentioned earlier, most of these Jarankas and these Fullers and these Jola boys, if they don't play it on that grass, all that they will say is, no, we did not play, because they are not used to grass. For we the Nyomikas and say that playing on the grass and this stuff, it's what we are used to. But the fullers is a problem, particularly the Nyomikas. So, boss, wish your team good luck to qualify in the qualifiers of the Serekunda West. I know they may not know, but a game will come if those two teams would meet. I wonder if my boss will be on the ground. So I just hope and pray.
I will be put at a funny situation. But anyway, God knows where my heart is.
Exactly.
And then which I will never utter. But those that know me will know exactly the particular team that I want to qualify first. If I was asked each of those teams, which one I prefer to qualify, those that know Omar will know the particular team I want.
There is a team that is in the DNA.
Yes,
so and that cannot be irreplaceable.
Yes.
That was what we have for you on the first phase of the Monday Night Sports, which comes your way here at the OIC Road, the new complex of Star FM, Star TV. Coming again from this Monday and every other Monday, by the grace of God, we'll be here in the studio with this expertise, who are my bosses, to make sure we go and bring you people what is best for you and what you can consume. We are privileged to be here, but it doesn't mean we know all more than you. So we are going for a short break and come back and go to the second phase. Welcome back after that short break. As I mentioned earlier, the second phase will be having the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia, because over the weekend at Seaview, we've seen the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia commemorated the World Sports Journalists Day. And World Sports Journalists Day was first celebrated in 1994, marking the 70th anniversary of the International Sports Press Association, AIPS. Founded in 1924 during the Summer Olympics in Paris, AIPS was created to support sports, journalists, and ensure freedom of the press in the sports domain. Since then, July 2nd has been globally recognized to honor the contribution of sports journalists in bringing the action and emotion of sports to fans across the globe. So when we say sports journalists in this country, nobody can go and leave my boss behind, who is Lamin Del Arsenal Fadera, who is sports award winner. So whoever is a sports award winner to the entire country, there is no way you will mention about sports journalism without mentioning that Lamin Del Arsenal Fadera. Today in the building, he's the one I have in the building. Boss, welcome to Monday Night Sports.
Thank you so much, bigger boss. You're making me look so funny, man, boss. But anyway, it's good to be back again on this platform, Monday Night Sports.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's good to share a platform with you, you know, my guy, General Campo, and, you know, Alaji Omar.
I like the name.
Yeah, you like it.
But the good thing is, you know,
I like it. Just don't spoil that. Just say Alaji Omar, then we are good to go.
I might consider
No, don't.
You have the boss. If the boss says he might consider withdrawing the statement.
No, let him not withdraw the step. Let's just keep it as that. They like Kasim and then they like let them keep. I know you trusted me and they give me that title, so you're good to go.
anyway.
Boss, before going to the proper programming, you see the setup.
I saw
We are Arsenal fan. None of them, they are Real Madrid fans.
And we are going to
we
win the World
take them
Cup.
home and away. You are the boss, you take the home.
And we are going
and
to
I
win the
take the
World
away.
So,
Not so.
you know, the good thing is,
We are going to win the World Cup.
Yes.
I remember the very first day when the draw was conducted, and
Yes.
they said Arsenal is going to take on
You know,
Real Madrid.
I'm not liking this. To be honest, I'm not liking the
I
platform.
remember, at the famous boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Kasim Oscar and the entire team.
Yes.
Campo said there is no way that Arsenal can beat.
That's
Real
true.
Madrid. And I
He even said that to me.
nga wax naa ma ne ko ne ndeysaan soo xoolee history bi di nga xam ne lépp dëgg la. And I remember very well my boss, you know, when we had that conversation. ma ne la man xam naa leen home leg bi nañ win Real waaye away la am ñaari xel and you told me go, we are going to beat them home and away. So I don't know where you get that belief from, but in the end we just nailed it.
This is a different scenario. You know, Real Madrid, they must lost a Champions League trophy. I don't know by who, because of it was not possible. Like if they won last season, win this season, and the next season they are contenders. Obviously, that's not fair enough. So if there is a team that's supposed to drag Real Madrid out of the competition, it's Arsenal.
Exactly.
So sorry they did. Anyway, I was hoping they will at least cling for the first time so that it can put smile on your faces, but it was rather unfortunate.
Yeah, it was rather unfortunate. That is my boss, Tel Fajera. You know, we the Gunners, wherever we meet, you know, particularly having this victory on Real Madrid, we must at least create some fun, some joke, because football unites us. Football brings us together. So that is why we never sit without chatting or discussing about football, regardless to any platform. That is a peaceful one that we met. Boss, we've seen over the weekend, the SJG celebrated the Sports Journalists World Sports Journalism Day at Seaview, but we've seen that, you know, an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, was signed, which I once covered the ministry signed with the SJG, but this time we see the SJG and the ministry signed with GRTS, and particularly among this MOU, I saw that they would prepare a documentary that will feature maybe our veteran journalists. How can you shed light on those things and what's the way forward? Because to be honest, not that you are seated, but the new executive of the SJG are really paving a good ways for now.
Thank you so much. I must say we are really humble. When I say we, is the executive and the entire general membership. Looking at the trajectory since we took over, it wasn't easy, but the Omar Jaji-led executive did all they could, lay out their plans, you know, strategies, and look forward to make sure we enhance sport journalism in this country. We bring everyone on board to make it easy for us, the journalists, the administrators, and everyone involved in the sports to come under one umbrella to work, you know, in a harmonious way. And I think, like you mentioned, the MOU signed with the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services last month, which you covered, entails a lot. And one of these strategies to how to make sure that, you know, we bring in innovative ideas, bring in things that will help the SJG, but also try to expose so many things that can add value to our sports. And like you said, the last Saturday event at the Seaview Garden Hotel really went well because it was a symbolic one, a great day. As you mentioned, the world over July the 2nd is being celebrated as the World Sport Journalist Day. since 1924 when the AIPS was formed in Paris. Since then, July the 2nd has been a great day, and I think this whole idea came through the dynamic leadership of Omar Jaji, the president, when they went to Morocco for the AIPS Congress. They met with the president of AIPS, Gianni Melo, and had a very good conversation. And this is one of the brainchild of the celebration that is commemorating the event that we did last Saturday, which was very much successful. Which we learned so many things from the veterans like Tijan Masane Sise. We have also had the speakers that spoke there, for example, Famara Fofana, who elaborated on important issues that were discussed, and the DPS who represented the Minister of Information, Mr. Kajari Sonko, also laid down the information through the Ministry of Information. And one of the most enticing thing is that when this whole idea was conceived, when the conversation took over, when the historical facts of Gambian sports was unveiled, it makes it even much more easier. And also because we know before us there were people that were practicing sport journalism in the country, and we know that the current generation need a lot of work to do, but also to learn from the past. So the good thing is to have this documentary in partnership with GRTS through the collaboration with the Ministry of Information is really great, because I know the documentary will unravel so many things, people that were here before us, to talk about how, the evolution of sport journalism took place in this country, and the challenges that, most of them face, and the current one as well, and what are the opportunities available, like the team for last Saturday event, which uncover a lot. And this documentary will be special in many ways, because to hear from the people that have the experience, that witnessed the first generation, and the current generation has a lot to say, and also to hear from people that have been involved in the sports administration itself, I think it will be so special.
Before handing you over to my boss, Omar Job, just I have this final question for you from this time, so that I hand you over to my boss. As the Assistant Secretary General of the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia, where are you people generating funds? Why I ask this thing is, I've seen to read that since you guys came in, there are various of capacity buildings that sports journalists are going through. One among them, I'm a beneficiary of attending a 3 days capacity building with AIPS. And not only stopping there, you don't
the investigative journalist from Argentina.
Exactly. So
yeah,
people don't just build our capacity, but you instead take us to another level. Take us to another level is, it's because of your executive, I am also a member of the AIPS with a valid ID card. And we see to it that organizing such capacity building required financial muscle. This weekend also, it's a hotel that the SJAG hosts their program. Why are you having your source of income? Because financially is very challenging.
Funding is one of the biggest, I think is one of the biggest challenge we do face. Not only the SJAG, but many institutions or associations that are involved in sports. I mean, to be honest, since we took over, the leadership of Omar Jaju conceived the ideas and strategies and mechanism of, mapping out how to tap in funds to make sure that, the association will be able to, run some of the funds on and the ideas that we have. Because I remember after the convergence which took place soon after we took over the mantle of I remember we had a strategy conversation and meeting where we mapped out an activity plan for the entire year 2025, and we also look forward to things that we want to do. We know it's not going to be easy. You remember you talk about the capacity building program that you benefited from SJG through the AIPS, and you also, if you can recollect, also the financial and budget training also took place. We also, during the short period of time, time is just, precious, but so many things have been done. We cannot blow our own trumpet, to be honest.
Indeed.
I think we are just trying to do our best, but everything stemmed from the foresight and the leadership of Omar Jaju. Honestly, I mean, he has been a great leader. He has so many ideas. Anyone who knows Omar knows that he has ideas, But also the entire executive, whatever we do, we discuss as a team, as a family, to make sure that we strategize. We make sure that, whatever we are doing, we do it and execute it perfectly. If you can recollect very well, in fact, when we invited the legends at Serekunda,
very well, exactly.
to celebrate them on Independence Day, and also in this short span of time, you remember, SJG, in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, make sure that a member from the SJG traveled to Morocco to cover the under-17.
Yes,
I'm also a beneficiary.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to China, and you can name just a few. But you ask one important question is, how do we tap funds?
Sure.
Funding, I mean, I will say it here, our general membership, they are doing a lot. A lot of them are trying to pay in their dues. We have new people that register in this new executive as well, but we need more. We are urging them to pay their dues. These dues cannot even cover, 1/3 of what we can do.
Sure, exactly.
But again, through the partnership, for example, when we organize the training, that is the budget and financial training, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, funded that training. And also, if you look at the other activities, some of the monies that we gather from other different funding, that's what we strategize to make sure that we chip in other activities as well. And the last event that took place at Seaview Garden Hotel, through the leadership of Omar, because we were all thinking, okay, we have a strategy, we have an MOU with the Ministry of Information, but we want to make sure that we celebrate this day. Yes, it's supposed to be July the 2nd, but we can't do it on a weekend where a lot of people will have time to come. And all of a sudden, the president, when we had a conversation, he said, you know what, we have good news. Through his connection, we were able to secure Seaview Garden Hotel, and it becomes a partnership where the SJG, has to do this event at Seaview. That is a strategy from the president, Omar Jaju. Yeah, we can't thank him enough. But I think, it all, stem from working hand in glove, because I think a lot of people can work with the executive, all institutions. We are calling on all of them to come, because you cannot do anything without journalists.
Very well, that's very true, very true.
You can put billions, millions in a place, infrastructure or whatsoever, but without, the press bringing it to light, it can never come out. So I think we are a very important stakeholder in the development of sports in this country, and we are ready to work with everyone, but also with principle, with integrity, and also not compromising the ethical standard that we have. But, through funding is through the partnership and the foresight of the President Omar and the entire executive to make sure that this event took place. But funding is a challenge everywhere.
Thank you very much, boss. Boss, if you have anything for him before he takes his leave.
Well, I will just say, first of all, when you...
So what I just want to put this thing across. Just keep it as Del and,
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, the word boss, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Once a boss is always a boss.
They will call you boss, but me, I will not call you boss.
That's the same for you.
You know me and you.
Me, I will call you boss.
I think I will just pop in where he was saying general membership. People like us have been kind of ghosted members of the association.
We are on air, at least. Miami sent cards.
We are on air.
I don't have.
Passing told me that they will
no, I will give you Paseku's card because mom never failed longest of time. No, very good.
But I'll accept the fact that I have been a ghosted member of recently. But kudos to the new executive. They are doing well because of when you.
But we are open to criticism also because I don't think it's fair to praising make people go, but for us we are definitely
when the right time
we are cool.
When you guys, we are always at the corner waiting. We are on the fence. Because one quote once said, it says a man's biggest enemy is who deprive them from learning. Where in the Creator asks us to learn. So you are harnessing your members through capacity building. That's a great initiative which we really appreciate that you are doing. Pertaining to the event that is the celebration of World Sport Day, we have seen the president, despite one would call this as a successful gathering, but he was showing his frustration pertaining to the attendees, which are some of key stakeholders, which I guess the membership will want them to present, but they never did. How did the executive take that? Like pertaining to some of the invitees, they did not show up, they did not communicate.
So you have to qualify some of the invitees who?
Well, we have seen, okay, the president...
Are you talking about the guests that we invited? Or?
Yes, the guests that are invited, and then which the president clearly stated only the Minister of Youth and Sport communicated that he is out of town. That's why he couldn't grace the occasion.
I understand your point.
Yeah, where the last is sitting at. So,
but the point is, I think anyone who know Omar, the president, he doesn't put by the boss.
Sure.
And one thing you will say, maybe you will not appreciate what he tell you, but a very digger, when it comes to the truth, he just goes straight to the point. I mean, I think it's just normal for him to express such a way, because I think, and what he said was very true. I mean, if honorably you are invited to grace an occasion, I mean, you are written to, giving an official communique. I think, if you cannot attend the event, the best thing you can do, communicate, you can send a text, you can call. If you have challenges, it's normal. I mean, those are part of life, but not communicating, not giving regards to, especially a day like, an event that should mark a celebration of the sports journalists, I think that speaks volume. I mean, administrators, people that are invited, should honor, because when they have event, they always invite, and we know it's our responsibility to report accurately, fairly, and ethically, but also, to sell the agenda, which is right. Again, if we have an event, we invited people that are supposed to come, they fail to show up without giving any explanation, or sometimes it's really not okay. And I think that's the point. That's why he said he was disappointed that some of these people that were invited, they didn't show up, but they don't also, at least if you don't show up, you can, try to reach out to explain, because there are other people that could not attend the event, and they definitely reach out to him to say, what, I will definitely want to attend this event, but due to this X, Y, and Z, I will not be able to, attend the event. So life goes on. Despite that, I think, some blew it out of proportion, but the truth is, what he said is absolutely very normal. And for me, I think people should be open to criticism. I mean, it's not even criticism. To express disappointment, it's normal.
Okay, let me just come to that.
It's normal.
Will it be a sort of a conflict of interest? Because we all know when it comes to sports, the key partners of sports are the sport journalists, the ministry, and GFF, and then but it was outrightly said that, okay, aside the minister, none of those stakeholders sent a representative, nor did they even communicated. was it based on, one could say, because of, we all know some of these sport journalists are hard on those people who are occupant of that public office. Was it the reason why many did not grace the occasion, or there is something that we don't know?
Now you are putting me.
No, I'm just.
What you are? I saw your point.
Yeah, yeah. We are just having a little chat.
For now, I don't want to speculate.
Okay.
I don't want to base on second-hand info. It could be, but what is certain is that you are honorably invited, and you didn't show up, and you failed to give your reason, which is really embarrassing. I mean, I think as a professional, what you can do is, if you cannot do something, just say that I can't, or I am not going to be able to attend. But just like that, I think that, especially when you are written to, giving an official communique, and I think respect is reciprocal. For me, I understand the point that you are trying to drive at. For me, I don't have that belief. I don't have that mindset. What I believe is, everybody is open to criticism. If I am doing my job, I do not look at whether Omar or Campo or Mbai. All I look at is the job. But if you want to keep something in your heart or your mind because I have done X, Y, and Z, for me, I wouldn't worry that much, because I know the truth is what matters. I mean, if the people know the truth, or even if they don't need to know the truth, the whole story. What is important is your consent is clear. And for me, I think us, the SJAG, and even the president, what he said was very normal. And his life goes on. I mean, the event was absolutely successful. It was great. I wish you were there to see because
I was following.
Tijan Masane delivered very well. Famara Fofana was absolutely epic. Matar Mbouch was there. He also gave his side of, even though he came as an attendee, but he was also given the platform. Modu Yusufa Cham was there, and Musa Sise, and the Gambia Press Union. The president couldn't attend, but the vice president was there, and even the other people that we invited. And the event was really successful, because we were supposed to be there from 10 a.m. to 2, when we were there up to after 5. So that shows how interesting and exciting the event was.
I think we will leave it at that, because of no matter how important it is, what I'm really talking about. But nevertheless,
you want to drive me to
no, I'm not driving you anywhere. But I think the association also should start experience certain individuals who are also not graced in the association's event. People like Ibrahim Kamfojata here and myself.
Don't mind Ibrahim Kamfojata. So, boss, if you have anything to say to the general public as an executive member of the SJAG, the floor is yours before we take a leave of you.
So all I'm saying is that, we are calling all and sundry. This is our association. Everyone is invited. In fact, you are not invited. You have the right to be part of the association. The SJAG is here to represent the general membership, because they are the most important stakeholders in this. So we are calling on everyone, let's try to do our work as, to the best of our abilities. And also, you can never burn bridges. With this young executive, always count on us. We are not perfect, but we will try to do, things to the best of our abilities. We will try to, represent the members fully in whatever, because the interest of the members is what entices us the most. It's what we want to see, it's what we want to stand for. So for us, as an executive, the president will always say this, we can do it. It doesn't matter who don't believe in what we can do. I think, the most important thing is, let's keep going, let's keep the focus. And, within the space of few months or less than a year, I think it's a clear manifestation and testament of what we have done so far. But I think we still have a long way to go. We can achieve this success together. So let's all come on board to make SJAG bigger and better.
That's the Assistant Secretary General of the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia. And I believe you heard him well. He is a mentor to many of us. He is a mirror to people like me whom I looked at and see myself in. take his advice, go by his advice, because today I am a member of the Sports Journalists Association and also a member of the Association of International Sports Press. Before you the benefit of being a member when there are international games at the stadium, because the SJAG member is first considered prior before a normal member outside, to avoid being disgraced when there are international games per se or enter in other Nawetan zones or football zones. Try to be a member who is legally a member of the Sports Journalists Association so that they can be by your side when the need arises. Thank you very much, Lamin Del Arsenal Fadera. We are saying.
So I have a new title added, Arsenal. I will take that.
Thank you very much.
I will
boss.
take that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, boss, for the time and the invitation. And of course, the SDAG is really grateful.
Thank you very much.
For all the things that you have been doing and the entire crew for the association. Let's keep the momentum. Let's keep thriving. Together, we can make SDAG bigger and better. Thank you so much, General Campo.
Yes.
He's always focused on his phone. That's a problem, General Campo.
No.
It's one of the problems. General Campo always lose concentration. That's his problem. But anyway, boss, thank you very much once again for coming. I just hope the people like Campo and others are settling their debts when it comes to their SJAG
Boss,
members.
hit the nail on the head. Don't sweep.
All right,
Don't
boss.
try to sweep. People like Kambo and Omar.
No, but for Campo I am so, but for both Omar I am not so.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was Lamin Del Fadera.
Thank you so much. Thank you, boss.
Join us after the short break. We will bring you the third phase of the Monday Night Sports.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the third phase of the Monday Night Sports. Phase on that of the Gambia Football Federation League. We know that the league is done and dusted, almost finished. Few games more, either one. And in each of these competitions, there were champions. We see Real de Banjul were crowned champions of the main First Division League. And the other thing that we see, which is so touching and really comes at the right time, is Gambia Ports Authority gaining promotion to from the second division to the first division. This is a moment that is completely long overdue because they have been struggling so much to be back, and we see Real de Banjul also have 59 points by being crowned champions. Fortune 51 and Falcons were third 45, so which wasn't bad. We also see Gambia Ports Authority, who are crowned champions, who secure qualification to the elite competition of the GFF League, secured 64 points. Medina United FC 58 points and Samga 53. Control room, if you can give us the video of the Gambia Ports Authority last game that they were celebrating. That was the celebration, and like I said, the last game of the Gambia Ports Authority, the game that they confirmed their promotion to the first division. But looking at the condition of the pitch, boss, this was played in Bakau mini stadium. Comparing to last year, Bakau football pitch and this year, this pitch is completely dangerous.
It's dead.
And it's a dead field. Because considering this, as you were claiming earlier, which is the fact, if it rains, do you think it will be advisable for a game to take place here?
Well, you know, watching this thing, I was having a mixed feeling. I'm happy that Gambia Post Authority gained promotion back to the league, and at the same time, it saddened me to see the situation, how things unfold here. You know, I just have to compare this. You know, you saw a qualifier round team play in a playoff and then make it to the Nawetan. The excitement and the enthusiasm is even far greater than that feeling. Is greater than this Gambia Post Authority. You know, it's really sad. I don't know, but let's just hope, as it is proposed, that we will be professional leagues. But to be honest, the pitch is not welcoming. You know, it's good that we don't play our Nawetan during our leagues during rainy season. If not, many of our games will be postponed due to the unconditional fit for purpose. So it's good that we always play our league games during Noran, one could say, not Nawetan like locally called. But congratulations to Ports. But I will just say this: I just have a mixed feeling, and then I was sad to see the situation of this football pitch at the end of the day, and the way a team that gained promotion for the first time after how many years.
Sure.
Look at the atmosphere; it was dull, and this is our second best league. That is the second division. Now you head into the first division. Look at this celebration. Few individuals showing excitement here and there. So it's really sad, to be honest.
Campo, that was Sports Authority celebrating, as my boss said. This Gambian Football Federation League is more than sad. This is why the respect, honor, and the enjoyment that the Nawetan gives, the league is dormant. Dormant in the sense that you don't even count. This GFF league, you will go there as a media personnel. Even you pay $30 or $25, you know, to have a chair. As a journalist to cover that event, and they said you want to market their league, you hammer them by the truth, they sideline you, it's their problem. Whoever is there, you don't want to be criticized, you have to step down. Because the building that they are occupying, if their time is up, if they are not going to uproot the building. This is a clear manifestation of how poor our league is. As a last game of this, look at the turnout.
Definitely, if you are a football fan and you are a football lover, definitely you must see the truth and you must admit the truth. Definitely, our league is poor. Definitely, for me, as I always call it, it's not even amateur. It's a demi league. That I would say, because you have demi, from demi to amateur to semi-professional to professional football. Yeah, congratulations to Ports. Yeah, because of the last two seasons, they were relegated. They went to the playoff against Dotland. They did not make it, but they came back and definitely fight back and qualify, because they have a very slow start in the first round, but later they started picking games by game and winning games. But the ground that they were playing, definitely is not promising, because Ports were using Goal Project as their home game, but later they changed to play at Bakau. Definitely, as I told you, football grass, you're going to be playing constantly on there. Look at teams like Real Madrid or Arsenal. They have their own training ground. They will be training there. They only play games in their stadium.
Yeah.
So within next week, they play there, but continue playing. This definitely is dead, and it's a career threatening. Definitely, definitely. Anybody that is what you will not be happy.
It's a career threatening, as Ibrahim Akampo Jata said. I just hope that the Bakau Sports Committee will really work on this dilapidated football pitch before the proper Nawetan. If not, Nawetan players will be very vulnerable of injuries, and if that happens, at this moment, the committee cannot be blamed because it's not a Nawetan game. It is a GFF League game. But if it is a Nawetan game, the committee have to make sure they work hard to make sure they change the surface of the pitch so that it can be playable. We also see to the female Division 1, Berewuleng boys have made history because this is their third year in the fourth division. But the first year that they qualify, they finish with third position. The second year, they finish with second position. Their third year, They have completely snatched this from the mighty Red Scorpions, boss.
It has been spelling. It has been spelling. You know, it all started this season when I watched the Super Cup between Berawulen and Red Scorpion, who had been dominant in the female football. When I saw the Super Cup and then Red Scorpion were leading 2-0, and then Berawulen have to come behind and then level the scores, and then they went on to post-match penalty. You know, I was like, this season the league will be so interested, and then Berawulen in for something. These are the questions that I asked. And then slowly it paid dividend. They here clinked the trophy for the first time after how many years? Sure. You have seen police were dominant in women's football. And then here comes Red Scorpion, topple them. They have no match when it comes to female football of recently. But this is another thing. Berawulen. Now it used to be a one-horse race or two-horse race. Yeah, now Berawulen chipped in, and then they did great. I was so happy when they were crowned champion, and then Red Scorpion would once say they were my team, and then I always support them. But seeing Berawulen doing this magnificent thing, and of course the most important thing is these are the two teams that are going to the FF Cup final after playing there. So that will be a very interesting game to watch. Now we have seen it seems the female football has a shape. There is nothing like one-horse race or there is a powerhouse that overshadows all teams that are engaged in the football. We have two power teams that are to contest for glories.
Ibrahima Kampojata, you know the control room when it is time. Just a quick one. Very well. Our crown champions and the police who were dominating. This time TMT took third, police fourth.
Yeah, because TMT former Abugo, but this is a surprise for me, like Amon mentioned here, because of because they are first year, they finish third. Second year, they finish second. Third year, they finish third. And if you look at their president, you have invested a lot in this team. And many of these players are going to school. They are in grade 10, grade 9. They will close school. They go for training at around 2 o'clock, 3:30. So they definitely deserve this because they are the team to stop Red Scorpion. Even last season, Red Scorpion did not beat them over away. And look at this time. After they won 14 games, lose 0, draw only 1. Draw only 2. That is against Red Scorpion. So this shows you that the league installation for the past 10 years, it was only 2 horse race: the police and the Red Scorpion. So it's good for football. So we say congratulations for Berawulen for winning it for the first time, and it's going to be an interesting game again. The FA Cup, are they going for double, or is going to stop them? So,
boss, your final take for the program today?
Well, it has been a great program, though, despite missing out for a while now. I think the control room is supposed to give us sort of a 5 hours program. I think exactly. There are many champions, you know, when you're from Red Scorpion, you have in the second tomorrow and stuff like that. And of course, in Banjul, whereby Ali Sow, which I think in our subsequent program, we will have something to discuss about. That is a team named after Ali Sow. You know, sometimes it sounds funny when you have some kind of, you know, you Campo bought a team and then if the team is called Campo FC, does that tell what?
It doesn't tell so even if it is Campo FC, this is a very
so
stubborn team.
For me, my team is named Campo 11.
So these are the things that we have seen great players have been buying teams, and they bought teams, the like of Ronaldo, the like of Neymar, even Sadio Mane, but they never named them after those particular players. But like you said, we're running out of time.
Exactly.
It will be discussed in our subsequent program. It was good to be here, and then I guess we talked about what we love talking about, that is football. But do join us next week as we dwell more on sport, being it locally or international. I'm out and then saying bye-bye to all the viewers.
Thank you very much. That was your Monday Night Sports, which will be continue coming here on Star TV this and every other Monday. It was the team, myself, Mbaikor, Ibrahima Kampojata, and Omar Job Boss. We are saying bye-bye. See you next week, Monday.